on the news that everyone thinks, oh, so your son was killed by a white cop. How does it make you feel? He goes, my son was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He was a fucking gangbanger. He fucking chose. He's an asshole. He was a waste of space, and I'm glad he's fucking dead. Like,
Sometimes it's just got to be true, you know?
Yep.
It sucks, but I'm sure there were a couple of years where my parents said it about me.
I know that there was definitely a time when my parents said so.
But this kid, he doesn't have to be Al-Qaeda to be a terrorist. What he did was terror, and it was a terror attack. I don't care how you want to slice it. That's what it was. And he's absolutely a terrorist. You know, Anton LaVey, or sorry, not Anton LaVey. I apologize. Tim McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber, he wasn't affiliated with any terrorist organization, but that was a terror bombing.
It's literally known as a homegrown terrorist.
There's a few examples in the United States of terror attacks, but not affiliated with someone like Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, it's just, you know, again, this is just people trying to save face in public around their family and friends and whatnot. Say, oh, well, my son wasn't that bad. It was just misunderstood. No, your son was a piece of shit. There's a good fucking chance that you were fucking part of the problem at some point.
At some point, yeah, of course. It's usually the parents. Sorry, parents.
Yeah.
But calling a parent a parent.
That's right. You know, you brought a fucking kid into this fucking world. That's part of your responsibility as a fucking parent, is to be able to fucking own up. Kid does something fucking stupid, like shoots up a fucking church. I don't give a fuck what the religion is. Your kid shoots up a fucking church. Somewhere along the line, you weren't a fucking parent.
That's makes perfect sense to me.
Oh
no! You know, anybody wants to open their fucking mouth and say, "Oh, but you're not a fucking parent. You don't understand." Fuck you, I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone who wants to disagree with him?
394.
Whoops. Sorry. Sorry about that. Anyone that wants to disagree with him, feel free to do so at Ericandgord.ocm.
Yes. Write in and prove me I'm fucking wrong. I fucking dare you.
Or
be prepared to open your fucking skeletal closet.
You can also write to Gord at Ericandgord.
That's right.
So yeah, I don't like that. That's like not calling Omar Khadr a terrorist, in my opinion. It's that, you know, if you do something terrible, you're a terrorist, in my opinion. If you terrorize people,
yeah,
that just.
If you go into a place like, I don't even believe in organized religion. I would never go into a fucking church to kill. I'm going to rephrase that. I would never go into a church to kill a bunch of churchgoers just because they're churchgoers.
There you go.
If I'm in a church and somebody threatens my life, I will fucking bleed them to death in the fucking waiting pool. I don't give a shit. But I'm not going to show up and murder a bunch of people just because they're a bunch of fucking Christians or Jews or fucking Muslims, whatever. It just doesn't matter. You're a fucking terrorist. You're scum.
So, Quebec.
Prison rape. Twice.
And that's what you get, Prison Dad. You're going to like that, Gord, when you hear it. Speaking of which, I'm remixing old episodes again, everybody. So every night that there's not an episode live featuring Gord and I, there will be a remix of sounding one that'll sound good again. So you can go back and enjoy the archives, catch up on ones you may not have heard, or hear them all over again, but actually hear them. So that's going to be kind of cool. I did a couple of... I'll just pop them up as I can. So, my best buddy and his government are announcing they're going to post at the end of the fiscal year a $15 billion deficit.
Congratulations.
They're going to be $15 billion in the hole. Now, I've said several times on this show, I'm not real good at math. But we had a $7 billion surplus for the last 11 months. What the fuck did we do to spend $22 billion in a month?
Well, no, we've been running on a deficit ever since Trudeau's first year?
We've been posting a surplus for 11 months.
Yeah, wrong. And they've been not only proven that it was wrong, but they were actually looking at charging Trudeau and the fucking wine government for falsifying records.
Every government. It's just getting, they just, like, that's the one confidence vote we have every year, is based on the, whether
Benny Gantz.
Oops. Like, and now even that can't be trusted.
No, nothing can.
It's just, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I know the Liberals, they like to spend. That's their thing, and that's what everyone complains of. Frankly, I don't. I think spending is a good thing. We need to spend. What the hell are we saving money for?
Yeah, you need to spend, but you also need to be able to get a return on your dollar.
That's the part.
And that's the problem. They have zero money coming in, and they're pouring out millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars going out. And look, any fucking cause in the fucking world with reckless abandon. So they're just, you need to eliminate the system that's in place. You need to eliminate voting for an individual party. And instead what you have to do is you need to just put the top 5 fucking parties together. They all go into a fucking room. They don't come out. No fucking food. You get water and chips, and that's it. You do not come out of the room until you've reached a deal.
That's how they pick the Pope.
Simple. Yeah. It's worked for the fucking Vatican for how long?
And they know.
No, they're running surplus all over the fucking place. Like, it's just, it's in order for the human civilization to evolve, truly when it comes to government, is you have to eliminate this flip-flop from one party cuts, gets us at a deficit, and then the next party spends, and it's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We're to turn around and put both parties in a fucking room and say, okay, so here's how this works. We're going to crank the heat to it's about 115 degrees. Fuckers are going to get waterproof fucking paper and pens, and you got to stand there and work out a deal, and you cannot come out of that room until you reach a deal.
Yeah, doesn't that make sense?
Everything fucking changes.
I don't understand why that's so difficult for them. Right. I mean, that was my whole play in municipal politics, and but it applies to all levels. The party system as it stands doesn't work, and it's politicians playing politics, and the worst thing that can possibly happen in a government situation is you start getting political with each other.
Yeah. By the way, I have some platforms for us. Because of everything going on, I have some platforms for us.
Oh, please fill me in, because I'm solving all the world's problems in the next segment anyway. I'm trying to save it, but I figured it out. So go ahead.
Do you have like a pen and paper to write this shit down? Are you going to be able to remember this stuff?
You know what? As a matter of fact, I do.
All right. So, point number 1. All overtime is tax-free. Number 1. Number 2. All government officials, I'm going to repeat this one more time, all government officials work on minimum wage. Your accounts are open to the public to be scrutinized for spending, to prove that every dollar that comes in is legal tender that you have.
Well, they're supposed to be doing that anyway.
No, but this will be fucking like straight up fucking open law.
Yeah.
Number 3, no corporate money is allowed to go into the government. They are not allowed to donate money into the government so that they can get their say on anything.
Yeah, now they did that in the United States, and what the corporations did was they formed the super PACs. So they're not actually giving money, they just give money kind of like they launder it and get it to the party anyway.
But they would have no way of doing that, because if any politician at any point where anybody at any given time can just turn around and say, fucking, let me just go and check his bank account today. Boom, there's his bank account. Oh, look, there's a transaction for $20,000. Where did that come from? Bam, he's in jail.
That came from Uncle So-and-so and his fishing club up in Wichita.
Well, it's a great idea.
It is. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yep.
I would say no union or corporate. Because what we have the biggest problem here is the unions.
Yep.
Screwing up elections. And I know because I was a big union guy and I was very big into the NDP because of it. But yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
Perfect. So far we're all on the same page then?
The biggest problem with instituting anything like this is you have to get rid of the politicians, because that's what they thrive on. Everything you just said is contrary to the life of a politician.
Which is why, here's the simple twist on this.
Get rid of politicians.
Any politician that argues it is immediately fired.
Sure.
You're in it for the money, you're not in it for the right reasons. Get out.
See, and I don't understand why it's so hard to not impeach. What's the thing they did to the dude in California? It's not impeachment, but it's like that. Oh, they recalled. They did a recall. That's all they. I don't see why it's so difficult to do that. Well, yes, I do, because politicians have made it too difficult to do that. That should be the easiest process in the world. That should be like a no questions asked. No, this guy sucks. He's gone.
Yep.
Like that 3-month trial period that retailers always do to their employees. Whenever you're on a 3-month probationary basis, they can let you go for any reason without providing you a reason.
That's right.
That should be the first rule when you get elected. You get that same thing. We got 3 months to fucking give you the boot for whatever reason.
Yep. Now, here's the next stage. Prisons.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go off on this one, but you have your say first.
Okay, first of all, prisons have to be completely revamped. TV, radios, gone. Voting for prisoners, gone. When you commit a crime, a real crime, and I'm talking, this is the difference between, say, some bullshit minor offense, like in the sense of before weed was legal, like, you get busted for having a fucking 2 of weed, you get thrown in jail for the month. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Real prison. You get thrown into prison. You are not allowed to vote. You do not get free time to just sit there and lounge around, create gangs, fight each other. Fuck you, you're working.
Yeah, of course.
And you work fucking, whether you're doing physical labor, whether you're doing fucking in school and you're learning to better yourself with a trade, all of those things will very easily be made accessible to all of you. And you have your choice. You can do any of these things. If you choose to do none of those, that is your choice. You sit in solitary confinement and you do not come out until you decide, you know what, okay, I'm going to pick up a trade. I've had time to think.
And the first thing I'm getting rid of is this double time for time served before the trial, because defense attorneys are purposely dragging out time for a trial so that their client gets less time in prison, because you get time for any time served before your trial.
Yeah, that's just fucking stupid.
So defense attorneys are now, well, at one point it wasn't. our legal system is incredibly slow, and it is unfair